Stronger level 2 was all about lean gaining. So what that meant was putting on mass slowly so that you can minimize fat gain. Whereas here, in stronger level 3, we're focusing on aggressive gaining, which basically means putting on as much muscle mass as quickly as possible. And to illustrate the trade-off, I want you to imagine two guys trying to get down a river. You can think of the trade-off by imagining a couple of guys trying to get down a river. They agree on a set-off time, but they both have very different priorities on how they're going to do it. The first man is all about getting from A to B as quickly as possible. He grabs an oar, he paddles as fast as he can, and he makes good progress. But in the process, he takes on a lot of water from his splashing paddle, and periodically he has to stop, get out, drain his boat, and carry on. The second man is all about the easy life. So he puts his boat in the water and lets the current take him. He occasionally has to stick his oar in and steer, but the rest he leaves to the river. The first man gets to the end first. He's tired, but he's feeling accomplished, and he can move on to his next challenge. The second man takes a while longer, but when he arrives, he's fresh and relaxed. And that's what we want you to take on board before you start this level. To achieve faster muscle gain, you're going to need more training, more sleep, more calories, and a more interrupted process. But if you want to get it over and done with, so you can move on to something else more quickly, then this is the right place for you. So why are you here? Well, you're making really good progress with your muscle gain. And the thing that you'd like is to get there a bit faster. And the thing that we're going to stress at this point is that's all good and well, but as long as you're willing to put the effort in and you're going to put the extra work in, then you're in the right place. Success at this level is very straightforward, and actually it's a lot to do with what you're doing. So in order to do this well, you need to be consistently hitting your macro targets, which we'll explain more about. You're going to need to be timing your nutrition around your workouts consistently. You're going to need to be training up to 6 days a week, probably at least 5 days a week. And then you're also going to have a really good idea of how and when and by how much to nudge up your calories to keep pushing the muscle gain along. In terms of your weight, what you need to be doing is you need to be getting to the top of that 1% per month marker that we've given you. And if you're at the bottom end of that and you're at more like the 0.5% or potentially even less, then what we would suggest you do is go back, work on the level 2 principles before you then come back here, because a lot of what we're going to say in this module is not really going to be relevant to you. In terms of what we're going to do in this module, nice and easy, nice and simple. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on macros. So number one, protein. We're going to make sure your protein target is about right. And it is a bit different than if you're doing a fat loss phase. Carbohydrates are the king of muscle gain, okay? The unsung hero. We're going to work out how to make sure that you're getting enough in so you don't feel super duper full all the time, but also thinking about timing them around your workouts so that you can gain as much muscle as possible. We're also going to think about fat sources and making sure that you're getting them in without making yourself feel too full, which is kind of a recurring theme here, is a big important step. We're going to be talking about increasing calories, so how and when and by how much to increase your calories and how often to do it. We're going to be talking about vegetables because you still need to eat veggies, you need to be healthy, but a lot of the time it's going to make you feel very full if you're eating lots of calories, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to be talking about workout nutrition, which is all about making sure that your workouts are really high quality and you recover really well. And in that, we come back to our carbohydrate and protein stuff. And then the last one is health supplements. If you want to put on lots of muscle mass, being in the best possible health is going to be really, really beneficial. So we'll cover supplements to make sure that you're nice and happy. In terms of final thoughts, this is obviously the top level. This means extra calories, extra training. As we've said, you're going to need to sleep more. You're going to need to do more of everything. But if you do, progress is going to go from good to absolutely great. So we're going to try and maximize weight gain here. In terms of final words and how to progress from this phase, there's a couple of things that we need to talk about. The first thing is as you increase your weight, you might find that you will find that you put on some fat, and you're probably going to need to periodically cycle with leaner once you get to the top end of what we recommend in terms of body fat percentages or how you look, so that you can sort of trim the edges off, cut the fat down a bit, get a bit leaner before you then push back into a muscle gain phase. Once you get to the end and you feel like you've gained enough muscle, if that's even possible, then what you need to do is you need to go to leaner, and then you can think, for example, of getting yourself into really great shape, showing off the muscles that you've built, making you feel your absolute best. Alternatively, you might be very happy with the amount of fat that you've got on your body and you just want to work on your health. So if that's the case, go to fitter, do some more cardio, increase your energy and increase your engine. But whatever you've done to get to this point, you've done fantastically well. So well done, and potentially we'll see you in the next pathway.